A very warm welcome to everybody to our webinar today about most important topic that is hot in educational arena is adaptability and sustainability in education. And this is something we all should consider in our classes nowadays. So we have our speaker, Sama, talking about this most anticipated webinar you all been waiting for. And floor is all yours, Sama. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Maria, for this introduction, and welcome everyone. I hope that you all find this discussion fruitful. I will start now by the session objectives. The objectives of this session will be divided into three parts. We are going to explore first the educational adaptability concept and sustainability sustainability in education concept. Then we are going to discuss the relation between both. And the third part will be practical examples on how to implement sustainability in your schools. To start with, we are going to use, if you can, scan the QR code or use the link in the chat box, please, Maria, if you can put the link in the chat box.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, if you can use it and write the word or words that come up to your mind when you hear the concept educational adaptability. As a beginning, I would like to know what comes up to your mind when you hear the word or words educational adaptability. Remember, adaptability is the main thing here, and it's educational adaptability this time. So let's see what you have. The link will take you to a Padlet. So I'll be sharing the Padlet with you, and we'll see what you have there. So it's activity 1. You can cross the plus sign and write any word or words that come up to your mind related to educational adaptability. Any word would be, of course, relevant as long as it is related to adaptability. Remember, when we talk about adaptability, it's being able to adapt, to adjust. So, yes, I started seeing some answers here. That's good. Yes, please write under activity 1. I have here Bushra, you wrote under reflection 1. It's not, it's okay, but it's under activity 1. Okay, so to discuss some of them, some of your answers, some of you wrote tailored tasks. I like this because you tailor, you change the tasks according, we can say according to your students' needs or according to the situations, according to the changes around you. That's perfect. Differentiation, immersive community, differentiation, excellent. Catering different skills of students. Perfect. Yes, I think almost the answers that you have here are related all to differentiation, tailoring. They are all related to changing your ways of teaching. That's perfect. Okay, so moving back to the slideshow, I have here the definition of educational adaptability. When I talk about educational adaptability, we talk about the ability of educators and institutions to flexibly adjust to changes and challenges in the teaching environment. So, as you said here, some of you mentioned, it's the changes and tailoring, as you mentioned, to meet students' needs, to meet their learning styles, their different abilities, which is great. And of course, when you did do this, you are training your students to be ready for the dynamic modern workplaces, by the way, which is perfect. The other thing is these changes are done in the face of the challenges and problems. And when we talk about challenges and problems, we don't mean only big things like only hard and harsh challenges. Challenges vary in their degree of difficulty. So I can say, for example, that having a student with disruptive behavior is a challenge. It's something that you face daily. What do? You have to adjust your methodology. So you may tailor your way of teaching, your methodology, and engage the student in an activity that will distract him from his behavior. You may have a student who cannot understand English when your setting is an English setting where English is the main instructional language. So you will need, in this case, to adjust and to tailor, as you said, your lesson plan. So you will need, in this case, to maybe add some pictures or use gestures to make your lesson more easier or more or clearer to your students. Now, coming to tougher situations or harder challenges like harsh weather days or even more in some situations. In these cases, you need to have fast and rational decisions to take and quick, fast decisions to be taken. And maybe the whole teaching experience has to be changed from traditional one to remote one. So this is what when we talk about adaptability. You will have the ability to change, tailor methodologies, and the kind of challenges and problems that you will be facing. And to do this, essential skills will be needed. And these skills that you will need vary actually. You will need to have problem-solving skills, critical thinking, flexibility, continuous improvement. Because if you stay in your place without knowing what's going around you, you will not be able to figure these changes. You will not be able to know that or to be aware that you have to change now, because there are a lot of things around you that are moving on and rapidly, by the way. Growth mindedness. Those with fixed mindedness find it very difficult to change, like when you go from a traditional setting to a remote one, or when you face any problem. Having a fixed mindset makes it very hard to change. Responsiveness, curiosity, all these are the skills needed to be able to adapt. Now, if you are an educator, you are mature enough to have these skills. But you may say, what if my students are not having or they don't have these skills? How can I help them have them? Of course, by time and through your methodologies, they will be able to gain them. But there are some specific techniques that can help your students understand that these skills are required. If you go to the same link again, or use the same QR code, you will go to the second activity, and try to brainstorm with me some techniques to teach students to be adaptable. How can we help them acquire the skills of adaptability? Because this thing, by the way, is not easy. You have to think about it. You can say, As an educator, okay, I have most of these skills. I can adapt and I can adjust my ways. But what about my students? How can I help them? In this case, you have to, yeah, you have to think of ways to help your students. So let's go again to the Padlet. So go please to activity number 2 and think with me of techniques you can use to help your students to acquire these adaptability skills. So you can be both on the same page. Both of you are flexible enough to change. Both of you are have critical thinking way to solve problems. Remember, your students may face may change schools. There are rules here and there are rules here, but they are different. How can they adapt? They may face peer pressure. How can they face them? This is nice.
We have some answers in the chat box. Introducing and reconnecting with the concept of changes and adaptability.
Yes, okay, yeah, that's nice, of course, yes. Introducing them directly is a nice idea. Yes, because this makes the students aware of the concepts, which is, of course, very good. I have an answer here, a survey that let them know more about their personality, skills, and interests. And these two answers can be connected, which is nice. Like when they know more about themselves, you can help them know that other skills are required. Teach them how to promote self-regulations and encourage growth mindsets. Yes, some activities can be added in this case, by the way, some activities, and you can reflect on these activities at the end, telling them that what we did here and what you doing these activities will help you understand your personality and will help you know more. That's nice. Okay, now going back to our okay, to our answers. Okay, so I have here some techniques ready for you. First of all, you have to be adaptable yourself. Now, you are an example in your classroom. So, seeing that you are flexible, that you change your ways, your methods, when you treat your students, they can see this, by the way, and they get aware when you change your ways of asking your students according to their needs. So being adaptable yourself is a great way and teach a lot. Praise students' adaptability skills. When you see some or one of your students uh, uh, solving a problem in a logical way, praise this behavior, praise this skill. Encourage sharing and empathy, because when they show empathy and when they show sharing, they are more aware of others' needs and can think more critically. Don't be too rigid with rules. They have to understand that rules are not built, are not set in stones. By the way, rules may occasionally be bent or broken. Rules change from place to place. This house have different rules than the other. It doesn't mean that we can't adapt to them. The school has different rules than other schools or other classrooms. Dispel the fear of failure, because students must know that even if I didn't do well this time, I have to, you as a teacher, recognize their effort, praise the effort, and encourage them to ask questions, to reflect on their results. When they reflect on their results, they know what to do next time. So all this, you are helping them to grow and to use this reflection as a mean for a better result next time. Encourage continuous learning, and this is something very important. By the way, when you show your students that you're enthusiastic, and when you share your excitement and your curiosity in your subject, this will affect your students positively, and they will be sharing the same enthusiasm and curiosity. Now, do you think that this is helpful? What are the benefits of having this adaptability? Adaptability in education and adaptability in the institution, where like schools and universities, are very helpful for the following reasons. First of all, the students' outcome will be better, because as you all agree with me, tailoring your teaching methods to meet the students' needs and abilities is helpful, and we will get better results, of course, better academic results. Students will feel empowered. They will be critical problem solving, and they solvers, and they will be risk takers. This way also, teachers' methods will be more effective, because they are, as we said, they are tailoring their methods, and they are changing according to the situations. So of course, the process will be more effective. When all the setting and all the context is working in the same way, so collaborative environment will be fostered, and the teachers will be sharing together the best practices and best ways to work on this. As for resilience building, yes, the whole community will move towards this kind of adjustment, and they will all be ready to maintain educational quality under various conditions. Promote lifelong learning, because adaptable educational system promotes continuous learning and development, not only for students, but for teachers as well, and that's what fosters adaptability, of course. Now, we're done with adaptability, changes, challenges, and all the skills needed. We know now how important this is. Going to sustainability. Sustainability in general is the idea of meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is very important these days, because the world is aware of this problem. This is sustainability in general. While talking about sustainability in education, we are covering three important elements. To reach sustainability in education, we need the following. First of all, we have to educate our students with the knowledge of the three components affected by sustainability. The three components are the environmental one, the societal one, and the economical one. Okay, so first of all, they have to know that sustainability affects the three main aspects of life. They are the three main ones, but of course, they overlap. They are not separated. So the students have to have the knowledge of these three main aspects that are affected by sustainability. Second, we have to know that we need to implement sustainable practices and skills in our teaching methods. And beside this, and the most important thing is the need for actions. So also in our teaching context, we have to promote actions towards a better sustainable future. So the knowledge for our students, the methodologies that we implement practices and skills, then actions should be taken. Now, the key focus based on this will be that in sustainability in education ensures that schools teach beyond academics. So we are not only teaching and giving knowledge, we are actually incorporating eco-friendly practices and social responsibilities. The other key focus is sustainability in education is also always, or it's better actually, to be always linked to the 17 United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, because this will make the teaching goal-oriented, and this will make sustainability more tangible for the students. So again, sustainability in education affects three main elements. The environmental one, so when we teach anything related to renewable resources, climate awareness, conservation, we are covering the environmental criteria. When we talk about anything, when we talk about fairness, equity, standards of education, inclusion, globalization, we are talking about the societal element. Talking about profit, cost, saving, and resource efficiency, we are talking about economic. But we can't teach each one alone. Again, they are all related and they overlap all the time. And when we teach sustainability, we cover them all at the same time. Now, what is the relation between educational adaptability and sustainability? Why do we talk about them together all the time? There is a big connection between them. First of all, the skills needed for them. When we talk about adaptability actually helps in adjusting our teaching methodologies to meet new changes and challenges. So to do so, the challenges that we face nowadays when it comes to sustainability, like when we talk about climate crisis, when we talk about technology as something new, so we need to make the changes. We need adaptability. We need the skills we talked about. So skills, adaptability, changes to meet the sustainable difficulties that we want to address. We need to adjust our teaching and learning methods, and as a result, we'll foster long-term thinking and action for sustainable solutions, and we will promote responsible global citizenship through education, and as a result we will reach sustainability. So adaptability with its skills, adjustments to face all the challenges we have around the world, and as a result we will have sustainability reached in our institutions. To begin now with integrating education for sustainable development into curriculum. What do we do? First of all, we have to embed education for sustainable development across subjects. So we don't teach sustainability as a separate subject. It is not a separate topic at all. It's part of all the core subjects. Second, we have to focus on experiential learning. So we need to encourage hands-on project-based learning, which allows students to engage directly with sustainability issue and that make the abstract concept tangible and relevant to students. We also have to promote critical thinking and problem solving. Again, that's skills we discussed before. So teaching students to analyze and address sustainability challenges in creative and innovative ways to find sustainable solutions. This can't be reached alone. Teachers alone won't reach this alone, and this will not be enough. Collaboration with local communities is important. Raising awareness with parents, raising awareness in the neighborhoods. Maybe we need to have a partnership with local businesses or NGOs, maybe communicating with government agencies. So a lot of help will be needed if we want to really reach sustainability. Then integrating sustainable development goals, again, as we said, reminding students with the UN SDGs is important to remind them that these are global sustainable problems and we need to address them all the time. Encourage interdisciplinary projects. So when we come up with a project or activity to our students, the approach has to be interdisciplinary. This approach fosters a comprehensive understanding of how interconnected sustainability issues are. They don't cover, as we said, one topic only or one subject only. When we give a project, it will be covering math, science, maybe art. So it will be covering more than one topic at the same time because they are interdisciplinary. Utilize real-world case studies, sharing some successful stories about sustainability with our students will be inspiring and will help them know that there are nice stories and inspiring stories, motivational stories around the world. How to apply this in our context? I have some activities to share with you. I suggest them for you. Of course, again, because we all share the same open-mindedness, these activities are only suggested ones, and you can adjust them the way you want to match your students' needs, to match their abilities, to match the place you are in, because some may not be effective in the place you live in. The first one is sustainable shopping choices. Ask students to track how many single-use water bottles or coffee cups they would typically use in a month. Have them calculate the total cost of these items over a month and compare it to the cost of purchasing a reusable water bottle or coffee cup. Use simple math to calculate the total savings from using reusable over a year and the waste reduction that results. Waste and environment impact. Discuss the environmental impact of plastic waste. Students research how much plastic waste is generated from single-use bottles and cups globally each year. Incorporate an environmental calculator tool to help them visualize the reduction in waste they contribute to by using reusable items. Reflection and discussion. Organize a class discussion where students share their thoughts on the benefits of switching to reusable items. And then optionally, you can ask your students to part in a zero waste challenge where they commit to using only reusable for specific period of time. Notice how this project is interdisciplinary, but I want to tell you here that this project is teacher-led completely because it is suggested by the teacher. So it's teacher-led, it is interdisciplinary, it doesn't cover one subject only. It is related to students' real life, and it meets at the end we only left their creativity for the output. We gave them the agency and ownership to come up with different ways of presentation. Okay, so it's not fully owned by students. Again, we can do different things in our projects. So let's move to a new one. I have different things with different difficulty levels. If we talk about if we talk about using reusable water bottles and coffee cups, ask students to track how many single-use water bottles or coffee cups they would typically use in a month, and have them calculate the total cost of these items over a month and compare it to the cost of purchasing a reusable. Is it the one I did? Yes. Okay. So this is the one I discussed before. I think I missed one here. Okay. Yeah, I read one and I showed something else. It's okay. Anyway, I have 3 projects here. The three of them are teachers led. Okay. Okay. Now I would like to talk about this one. Reducing food waste and choosing local produce. Encourage students to plan meals and avoid food waste by buying only what they need. Introduce them to the environment impact of food waste and benefits of choosing local produce. The activity here is to assign students to track their food waste at home for a week, find creative recipes to use leftovers. They can also calculate how much money is saved by reducing waste and choosing seasonal local produce. This activity, again, I want you to try to go to the link of the Padlet and write there what elements related to adaptability and sustainability does this project cover. So we'll go to the Padlet. So here we have activity number 3, the criteria this project cover. And is it led by teacher fully? Does it give the ownership to students? What can you tell me about this project? You can show it again.
The link is also shared in the chat box. The attendees can also go through that chat box.
Yes, thank you.
Most welcome.
So this is again, no, it's not this one. Yeah, so this is the project we're talking about. Okay, anyways, uh, talking, yes, okay, I can see someone writing, but in order not to waste more time, talking about reducing food waste and choosing local produce. Here, the teacher asked for a specific example, encouraging them to plan meals and to avoid food waste by buying only what they need. So this activity is led by the teacher. Um, we ask them to find creative recipes to use leftovers. So again, all the activity is led by the teacher. Okay. Now to promoting. Okay, when you're once your students are well trained, we can transform the previous project to an advanced one and giving full agency and choice to students. How can we do this? Shift the role from teachers to students. So your students are the leaders now. What you can do in this case is that instead of assigning activities, allow students to identify the issues themselves. So they conduct research or brainstorm sessions on food waste and local produce. Students can form groups and define their project focus within the theme, which is food waste and food waste. For example, some may choose to study food waste in their homes, while others may explore local food sources or community level issues. Second, incorporate problem solving and decision making. We can encourage students to frame the problem they want to address. For instance, some students in their groups can come up with the problem, how can we minimize food waste in our school cafeteria? Other groups can come up with an idea, what strategies can families adopt to prioritize local seasonal produce? So let students propose solutions and design their action plans. It's not your job now as teachers, you're only facilitating the project for the students. Promote creative ownership. Allow students to choose their output. Options might include designing and implementing a social media campaign, hosting a cooking workshop to teach leftover recipes, creating an infographic or video explaining the benefits of local produce, setting up a community challenge to reduce food waste. So the options vary and they are a lot, but they can't reach this stage of many choices unless they are well trained, and you do this gradually, starting from teacher-led activities until you reach the place where you can give your students the lead. Engage in data collection and analysis. Students now can gather real-world data by tracking food waste at home or in their community. They can maybe interview local farmers or grocers about seasonal produce. Then they can analyze and present their findings creatively, whether in charts, presentations, or blogs. You have to encourage, of course, collaboration between them. Then they have to reflect and impact. They have to reflect on their work. They can present their projects in a student-led forums to a wider audience, like parents. And they can integrate community partnerships So you can empower your students to collaborate with local farmers, markets, or NGOs. It will depend, of course, on what is available for you and who can help you with this. So this approach not only empowers students to take full ownership of the project, but also fosters critical thinking, creativity, and leadership while aligning with sustainability education goals. It encourages them to see themselves as change makers in their communities, and this is what we want as a result. If we still have time, I would like to share with you another project. It's different a bit because it is related to the society. It's not related to it's related to the environment plus the society, because usually we talk about environment in specific. I like this one because it talks about traditions and storytelling. Many indigenous communities have stories that teach respects for nature and emphasize sustainable practices, like only taking what is needed from the land. For instance, some Pacific Islanders tales promote fishing practices that ensure ocean resources are sustained. Activity can be that you ask your students to research an environmental story or folklore from their cultural background and discuss its message about respecting the environment. They can share these stories with classmates or write their own stories on environmental responsibility inspired by their heritage. So here we talk about cultural heritage, about something related to their society, respect. So we're talking about value, traditions. I have one more that I would like also to share, which is festivals. This activity is related to festivals and art. You may have festivals in your schools, so this would be nice to do. You ask your students to choose a cultural or religious festival and brainstorm ways to make it more sustainable by reducing single-use items or using natural materials for decorations. They can create a presentation or posters on eco-friendly celebration tips. Of course, the ideas are a lot. What you have to keep always in mind is that they have to meet your students' abilities. They have to be doable, and they have to be reasonable, not to do something or to ask for something that they can't do in the context where you live in. Remember also that it has to, by the end, reach your goal, and they have to be interdisciplinary. Now, go please to activity 4. In activity 4, I need a reflection from you that at the end of this session, do you think you are currently applying sustainability educational practices and activities in your teaching or educational context? If so, if this is what you used to do, how? Give me an example. If not, do you think you will start doing so? And if you're going to do so, I would like to know how. So please go to activity 4 and do this first reflection. There is another reflection here, and I would like to also I would like you to do it, which is the barriers and challenges. What are some of the barriers and challenges that may prevent you from integrating these practices in your context? Because I know that some will think that there are barriers. I would like to know what barriers you think will hinder you from integrating these kinds of activities in your context. So, two reflections, and we'll discuss them together if we have time. Again, reflection 1, if you use this in your context, if not, what kind of projects you're gonna use, what did you like? And in reflection 2, what are the barriers to do so?
Thank you so much, Saman. It was very informative and very practically engaging for our attendees.
Okay, dear. Actually, I would like to share some points here, and we can, if we have time, I don't mind discussing some of the reflection points here.
Yes, another 5 minutes, and then we will take the questions from the audience. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's perfect.
So we have another response in the chat box. In some textbooks, there is only medium used to teaching and including real-life activities.
Yeah, I have here that some mentioned that they already use activities related to sustainability. Here I have a chemistry teacher, Wissam,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Um, usually, science teachers probably use sustainability and talk about sustainability more than
Yes.
other teachers. I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that what we need to talk about is talking about sustainability in general in all school, in the school as a whole. I mean, a teacher here, maybe Bushra, yeah, she said that we use interdisciplinary projects. This is perfect. I think promoting autonomy and giving the students responsibilities is very helpful. I like the idea of researching cultural norms that boost sustainability. Will definitely use it with my students. Thank you. I like this. I'm so happy you like it. I try to maintain a safe environment in my classroom, one built on respect and flexibility. That includes respecting one's space and, ultimately one's planet. Yes, and by the way, I would like to mention here that one of the teaching methods, like we talk always about problem solving methodology, we talk about project-based methodology, but we don't talk about value based methodology, which is based on values. In some schools, we talk about, for example, the value of respect, and we discuss it among students, but we don't continue. We can talk about respecting students, then we can talk about how we can move this respect from respecting each other in classroom to respecting the planet, to respecting each other's perspective, to respect other cultures. This way, we are using the values to talk about sustainability. We are using the values and to respect others and to to share sustain or to make sustainability everywhere. The only barrier here to talk about barriers is time. I expected this, of course. Now, time will not be a problem when it's when this when the project has is not or mustn't be something that to be put alone. The project or the activity has to be part of your lesson plan or main plan of like you teach all your lesson through this project. So you can, for example, have a unit, take this unit and change it into a project. In this way, you can take all your ideas after you finish the project, take all what you learned from this project, and this way you can take the value of your time. This is the only way. You can't teach, then come up with a project at the end. No, the project has to be your lesson plan. Students are not open-minded or educated enough when related to sustainability. Now, this is our role. We start from the beginning. It has to be gradual. You cannot change your context from day one, in one day, I mean, but you can start gradually. You start by changing the mindset among your colleagues as teachers. Then you and your students, they see you as example. Then by time you start by small projects until you reach the time when you can held teacher student-centered projects. I believe if there is a barrier, it would be time again. Yes, sometimes we don't have all the resources needed to promote sustainability. Some countries emphasize it more. Yeah, I know that. I think that the resources are available. If you like, my email is mentioned here. I can share it in the chat box, and I can send you a lot of resources, a lot of journals that are helpful. If you go to the UN website of the Sustainable Development Goals, they share a lot of projects that are doable and easy to use in your classroom.
Thank you so much, Sama. This is something we teachers need, some practical examples that we can recycle in our classroom straight away. Now we have, it's our pleasure to have you. It was very enlightening, very interactive. I really enjoyed it. Now it is time for the attendees to ask questions.
Sure.
You can raise your hand and then open your mic, and then I will direct you to Sama. So you can ask any questions. You have further correspondence to do, you can do it now.
I will write my
Anybody wishes to ask the question, they can ask it now. I think you were very thorough with everything. So everybody's happy.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I wrote my email in the chat box for you, and you can send me any question. Or I'm ready for any help, by the way, with any project, with any resource you need. I'm really ready.
We appreciate that, Sama.
Thank you.
We have a link in the chat box as well for the attendees. If you could kindly fill that for your certification. It's just a quick feedback about today's webinar and what you wish to see in the future. If you could kindly just fill that up, we really appreciate that. So everybody is thanking you. It was very informative, very useful session.
So thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
without any doubt, which was very interesting. We got lots of practical ideas. I just want to add a comment from Rola. Using a variety of digital resources, encouraging critical thinking, problem solving, modeling, many contexts provide a judgment. Free class, asking questions to trigger students' curiosity. I think she's just providing more suggestions to your topic. Thank you, Rola, for your input. Sarah says, in some contexts, textbooks is the only medium used to teaching in including real life activities to raise awareness might be challenging. What tips could be given to novice language teachers?
Okay, so in some context, textbook is the only medium used to teaching and including real life activities to raise awareness might be challenging. What tips could be given to a novice language teacher? Okay, for me, I think that language teachers has, by the way, all the time, because language teachers can even, you can use your example in your examples, you can use the sentences that address sustainability. You can even your examples in grammar can be related to what you want to give. We have all the, I'm an English teacher, so I have all the space to discuss, to talk, choosing a story, anything that you want to talk about, you can choose it that can address your goal. So when any discussion is your time is open to any discussion. So anything you want to talk about, you can choose it in a story. You can give it in your grammar lesson. You have all the time, really, all the time to use that to use any topic you need to address through your discussion time.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we have Arusa saying, I teach chemistry to high school and use everyday substances available in kitchen or else plant, etc., to endorse sustainability management of
That's very
resources.
nice.
Thank you. That's also a very interesting way to introduce sustainability in your classrooms.
Yeah, and
Okay.
teaching through things they have in everyday life is the way that will stick to minds.
Yes, yes, of course. And that's what we want. We want the learning to stick, not just to go through like a breeze
Exactly.
and there's nothing
Yeah, we
staying
said
behind.
that we want to go beyond academics. We are doing things that will last for a life.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time joining us
Thank you.
today. A very good morning from Canada across across the world, and to the
Yes.
rest of the people who are joining us. We hope to see you in our future webinars. In January, we will have 2 great webinars coming up. So kindly stay in touch and follow us on our social media platforms to stay informed. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sama. Bye for
Bye
now.
bye.